Auto workers are losing their jobs at a rapidly increasing pace.
Big news as Stellantis is now laying off workers and pausing production at 2 of its assembly plants.
Breaking, Volkswagen will cut over 35,000 jobs in Germany.
So a few months ago on this channel, we took a look at the mass layoffs many companies were having in any sector you could really think of, and their primary reason was the worsening economy. And that includes car manufacturers and dealerships at an increasing rate lately. So I thought we should look a little bit more into this because of all the car videos that I've made, any of the high prices of the vehicles in general, the monthly payments, and the lack of quality with these modern vehicles have finally come full circle. So we have a lot of examples to go over, and I bet we'll have a lot more clips in the future. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, but we're going to start off with one that's definitely been circulating around the news in the past week.
Big news as Stellantis is now laying off workers and pausing production at 2 of its assembly plants. According to CNBC, the company made the announcement today in response to the new automotive tariffs. 900 U.S. represented employees, as well as roughly 4,500 hourly Canadian plant employees, are to be temporarily laid off, while Stellantis says they'll continue to assess what the medium and long-term effects of the tariffs will be to their operations. The plant production pause is set to begin on Monday, last for at least 2 weeks at the Windsor assembly plant that I believe is responsible for putting together the Chrysler Pacifica and the new Dodge Charger Daytona EV, and then the Toluca assembly plant, which builds the Jeep Compass and Jeep Wagoneer S. In Mexico, that one's going to be down for the entire month of April. Now, workers at the Mexico plant will still be going into the factory because of the terms of their contract. However, they're not going to be assembling any vehicles. I don't know what they're going to do there all day. The tariffs seem to have the automakers somewhat all scrambling around to figure out what the best path forward is, but this move from Stellantis is one of the most aggressive ones we've seen so far.
So it seems pretty obvious that there are definitely consequences to the tariffs for any manufacturer, not just Stellantis, but looking in the comments, and with it being this specific company, there is an argument to be made that there is just no demand and how expensive all of these vehicles are. Nobody wants them anymore. We're all hurting. We can't spend $50,000, $60,000 on a Jeep Wrangler that's going to break down constantly, or the Grand Wagoneers that are $80,000, $100,000. Here we could take a look. Tariffs are not the reason that they're failing. Maybe if they didn't try charging $60,000 for a Wrangler, they'd be selling vehicles. Now, like I said, there are multiple reasons why this is happening. I do think the tariffs definitely have a reason, especially when we're talking about Canada and Mexico, but it doesn't help when it is Stellantis vehicles. They don't sell. The tariffs are an excuse. You mean the $125,000 Wrangler is not selling? Maybe Stellantis should make reliable vehicles. $100,000 Wagoneer that the interior falls apart at 30,000 miles. So I do definitely think that there are multiple reasons why this is happening now. Just the cars that they were building at the plants, the Daytona Charger, that is an EV that nobody wants. You're starting to see $20,000 off MSRP for a brand new one at the dealership because nobody is buying them. The Chrysler Pacifica too, the only vehicle that Chrysler is currently making, should probably just go back to being the Dodge Caravan and completely kill that company. They were also talking about building the Compass and the Wagoneer that are both very unreliable. It's not really too surprising to me when they have to lay off people because I really don't know how they're making money. It doesn't look like people are buying.
Ford is getting rid of 2/3 of its workers at its Dearborn-based Michigan plant, which primarily manufactures its F-150 Lightning truck. This comes amid slowing electric vehicle sales across the United States. Demand has been slumping, and electric vehicles have been sitting in car dealerships, selling much slower than hybrids and traditional combustion engine cars. Now, 1/3 of the workers at this Ford plant will be cut completely, while another 1/3 will be offered the opportunity to transfer to another factory. Now, Ford lost about $5 billion on electric vehicles last year. This year, it expects to lose around $4 billion. Now, as we know, Ford is known for the F-150, but it has already admitted that the battery technology currently does not exist to have an electric vehicle version of the F-150 compared to the combustion engine version of the F-150.
So they wanted to go and get those extra sales from the EV boom during COVID. So they scrambled and put billions of dollars into making these vehicles, and now nobody wants them because they're not good. And because of that, it's costing many people their jobs. Funny enough, for some reason, a couple years after we already knew that the Lightning was a flop, Chevy decided to do a Silverado EV, their version of the truck. I don't know how much money they put into it compared to Ford. I would assume the same thing's going to happen in the long run. I'm pretty sure the Silverado is also like $90,000 or almost $100,000 for it, just completely out of touch with their market. But none of the people up top will really hurt or lose money. They'll just end up cutting a whole ton of their employees to save money.
Here are the latest Tesla layoffs that has gotten some attention here. The senior director of the supercharger business, as well as the head of the new vehicles program and the employees in those divisions. Some numbers have put that at about 500 employees. Bottom line is more cuts at Tesla. The company, as you mentioned, had already said, hey, look, we're going to be laying off 10% of the staff. That's approximately 14,000 employees. Those were cuts that were announced a week and a half ago. Elon Musk, however, after those came out, there were a number of reports that he wanted even more cuts than 10%. And whether you believe that or not, it is clear from these latest moves that he is serious about cutting as much as possible to bring the company's finances in order, because they are facing the EV winter that everybody else is facing.
So if you're starting to see this with Tesla, at least 10% of their companies getting laid off, when all they make is electric vehicles, what about every other company? I'm trying to think of a manufacturer that doesn't make some sort of EV. I've literally just been sitting here for like 30 seconds trying to think. I bet each company put various amounts of money into their EV program, but it doesn't really seem to be worth having that program right now, especially in this economy. Here we have a clip that this manufacturer didn't even have the balls to fire all of these people in person. Just crazy to do.
Stellantis held a mandatory remote workday to fire 400 employees over a call. Last week, about 400 workers were told to work from home on Friday because they had to attend a meeting that required specific attention and participation. During that remote meeting, they were informed that they were being laid off. The workers affected were salaried, non-union employees in technology and engineering in the US. One worker called it a mass firing of everybody that was on the call. Stellantis told the Wall Street Journal that they would offer the laid-off workers a comprehensive separation package and transition assistance. In a statement, the company said the decision was made to improve efficiency and optimize our cost structure because the auto industry continues to face unprecedented uncertainties and heightened competitive pressures around the world.
So if you go and watch any of the videos talking about other industries getting laid off, a lot of the tech, the corporate 9-to-5 cubicle type of life, so many people were having that Zoom call and even filming themselves, which probably not the best thing to do for your career in the future. But nonetheless, we saw tons of people just getting fired and saying the exact same paragraph, no emotion, like they were a robot. We know that this is a tough transition. We'll help you for the future, blah, blah, blah. And now even in the car manufacturing business, they don't have the balls to fire them when they're at work. Just absolutely unbelievable. I know everything that we've seen up to this point has been American companies, but this is still happening on a global scale.
Breaking, Volkswagen will cut over 35,000 jobs in Germany after more than 70 hours of talks with its union, the longest in the company's history, as Germany's auto industry is in crisis. Volkswagen originally wanted to eliminate 55,000 jobs, but workers were able to talk them down by agreeing to give up bonuses and salary increases in the near future. Volkswagen also plans to reduce its total capacity in German factories by 734,000 vehicles per year. Volkswagen CEO has warned that Volkswagen's production costs are twice as high in Germany than in the rest of Europe. That's why the company has already signaled that this round of job cuts is only the first step. There are more to come. Volkswagen has been getting its lunch eaten by Chinese competitors both domestically and abroad. In fact, it used to get a significant portion of its overseas sales from China before local competitors raced ahead of it and eat. Unfortunately for Volkswagen's workforce, Volkswagen failed to stay innovative and to stay ahead of its competition, resulting in all of the painful job cuts now.
I think almost every manufacturer in this video has 1 to 2 faults that this was inevitably going to happen. A ridiculously high MSRP for what you are buying, along with terrible quality control and reliability of that exact same vehicle. Most people have probably seen the new Volkswagen bus. The ID Buzz, I'm pretty sure is what it's called. Of course, it's got to be electric. And it's like $70,000 for a Volkswagen minivan. Who's going to buy it? Are you really surprised that this is happening? But again, none of the CEOs or higher ups are going to take a pay cut because of this. They're going to lay off 35,000 people in Germany.
Auto workers are losing their jobs at a rapidly increasing pace. Ford, GM, Stellantis, and Volkswagen Group all plan to lay off thousands of workers in the coming months. Several factors are driving the auto worker wipeout. Notably, the transition to electric has not been as smooth as anticipated. Automakers staked billions of dollars to retool factories and build new ones to produce electric vehicles, but US EV sales still represent less than 10% of the overall national market. Companies not named Tesla have struggled to make their EV businesses profitable. Ford expects EV losses of $5 billion this year. And if EV tax credits get cut, the situation will get worse, especially for legacy automakers with thinner EV margins. Automakers who misprice their vehicles are also paying the price. In the US, Stellantis, which owns brands like Jeep and Ram, saw its sales fall by 17% this year. The average price of their vehicles was $58,000, far above the industry average of $48,000 at the time. You feel awful for auto workers. They are paying the price for poor decisions by management teams who could have avoided these challenges to some degree with better foresight.
At least I'm not the only one with this kind of thought process. He said everything that I said so far. Way too much money for these vehicles. The EVs are not as cool anymore. He didn't talk about the overall reliability, but I mean, that's kind of baked in. And the people who deal with the consequences are all the normal, everyday employees. The CEOs and all those types are still going to have a row of super yachts and all of their vacation homes and be able to do whatever they want with their tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. But any of the normal people in the middle class just boom, fired, gone by the hundreds or thousands at a time. Here we could take a look at another one that's definitely a dying brand.
Nissan is planning to cut 9,000 jobs. And part of the story is that it is restructuring with 9,000 job cuts. And what it was also saying is that it's trying to reduce operating income forecast by 70% to 150 billion yen. And it also said that it will sell back up to 10% of its stake in Mitsubishi Motors. Okay, so in another article, it says that these 9,000 layoffs across Tennessee, and it's an effort to cover severe losses. So it's 20% of its global manufacturing capacity, and it's really scrambling to reduce costs by 2.6 million.
20% gone by Nissan. Now, have you seen anything about Nissan in the news lately? It does not look good for them at all. I know that they were trying to merge with Honda, kind of to keep their brand alive, but I think that fell apart, which is probably a good thing for the Honda brand because Nissan has a pretty rough reliability. I don't believe that their vehicles are too expensive. I bet they're still overpriced for what you're getting, but that's every car now. But at least in comparison to what we're normally seeing from other manufacturers. But 9,000 people gone from Tennessee, the deal with Honda falling apart. It looks like the days are numbered for this company. That also includes Infiniti. We can look at a couple of the comments. Been going downhill for all manufacturers, overpriced products and recalls. That adds into the terrible quality control and reliability.
We have some news right now. Tesla is pulling workers off the Cybertruck manufacturing line because of slumping sales. You really can't make this up. According to the latest reporting from Business Insider, Tesla is scaling down its Cybertruck production goals and transferring workers to other production lines because sales have slumped amid a slew of recalls and investor concerns over the future of the EV maker as a company. In fact, Tesla has even recently incentivized Cybertruck purchases with perks and a cheaper model. The EV maker has lowered its production targets in the past few months. Tesla has also thinned out a number of its production lines, some teams by more than half. And Cybertruck factory workers at the company's Texas Gigafactory have reportedly been transferred to the Model Y line as of January, according to Business Insider.
Again, another vehicle that is just out of touch with their buyers. Now, I know the Cybertruck was made, honestly, for publicity. You're driving around in a dumpster, just a big old trash can. It's purposely ugly. Some people like it, most people don't. But along with the recalls and the reliability issues, along with it being like an $80,000 vehicle, just another one that's getting scaled down and people getting fired because of it. Okay, so sorry for butting in, but while I was editing this video, I found even more clips talking about the trucking industry, not just the cars that we all drive. Same exact story is happening with Volvo right now.
Back in February, Volvo Group North America announced it would lay off between 250 and 350 employees at the manufacturing plant in Dublin, and over the weekend it announced it will lay off the same number of employees over the next 90 days. Now, this plant is a huge economic driver for the town of Dublin, so businesses in the area, employees, how this could impact them going forward.
So I do want to say right off the bat, this is happening in the US. This is Dublin, Virginia, not Dublin, Ireland. Either way, it sounds like 700 people are going to be losing their jobs, 350 already, and another 350 in 90 days. Then you see articles like this, Volvo to lay off up to 800 US workers due to market uncertainty, so even more. And this is for these semi-trucks that they build. I'm not too sure about the other vehicles they make. Of course, the cars, the SUVs, you've probably seen them around, but honestly, not too often, at least with my experience. So maybe we could see the exact same things happening with the car plants. I believe Polestar is the EV version of Volvos, which, as you've clearly seen through this video, all EVs have been taking a hit, so wouldn't be too surprised that we see even more layoffs with the Volvo company. But here's another article talking about Mack Trucks, announcing layoffs in manufacturing plant in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. Mack said it'd lay off 200 to 350 more workers. So we're not just seeing layoffs from normal car companies that we see driving around every day. The trucking industry is taking a hit as well. Now, I do want to add in that the dealerships are also taking a hit finally because of this. I know overall it's not good watching a whole bunch of people either quit or get laid off, but for so many years we saw overpriced vehicles with dealer add-on prices for the fair market price, adding 4 or 5 figures to a vehicle just because they could. And because people are worried about the economy now more than ever and pulling their money back, we're starting to see salesmen quitting, getting laid off, or entire dealerships going away because of these prices.
Of a dealership are always so scammy, from the service to the sales to the F&I. Just the whole operations of the dealership tries to rip you off every single way. And I'm not saying all of them, but 99.9% of them, generally speaking, try to get as much money as they can in any opportunity. And that's the problem. I get so many comments, even people that are in the industry 40 years. I've been selling cars for 30 years, they say. They're like, my days are numbered. I am getting to the point where I'm done. I've never seen it this bad. Profits down. So the only way they can actually sell these vehicles is completely getting rid of any sort of dealer profit, which is how it was before. You didn't make money on new cars. Every dealership lost money on new cars, and if anything, you'd make money on service and everything. But they got so greedy, and obviously the F&I box is where they made money. But during 2020, 2021, they got used to making all this money on the front gross end profit, and now they're really biting them because now, one, all these customers are upside down, and you're just screwing your own customer base. So it's real funny that they did it to themselves.
I mean, maybe you could find the silver lining that hopefully this is the turning point in having more reasonably priced vehicles. Can't really say much about the reliability of these modern vehicles, but hopefully they won't be $50,000, $60,000 for a plain old SUV. And unfortunately, the consequences of that means a whole ton of people still have to lose their jobs. I bet many of you probably wouldn't care because these salesmen also did just rake people over the coals with insane payments, insane interest rates, and like I said before, dealer add-on prices with any of these just plain vehicles. Sorry for the jump in again, but I did find this clip talking about the same dealerships knowing that they're going to have a tough time right now. So they're already advertising decreasing prices to try to get people to buy in right now.
Even after yesterday's tariff announcement from the White House, 25% tariffs on automobiles are still in effect, and car dealers are sending out advertisements like this. We have vehicles in stock at pre-tariff pricing. If you have been considering a purchase, act now to get the best value.
I don't really know how much of a value it'll be at the end of the day. Most of the time, all of these vehicles are wildly overpriced. But again, when you start seeing advertisements like this, you know the car industry is worried about it. I do want to end off this video saying that we're going to start seeing a lot more videos like this, where we're seeing increased layoffs month after month. Doesn't really matter what sector you're in. It just seems to be very important to keep your current job right now for as long as you can.
So this is by far the most worrying chart I've seen this entire year. Basically, it's showing the number of companies that have been laying off staff by month. You can see how May and June just skyrocket. 5,000 to 17,000 and then 19,000. It's not just startups now, it's also huge companies like Tesla, Coinbase, IBM.
If you're working for a startup, you can't sleep on this. You have to figure out how you're going to navigate this storm. However you slice it, it's going to require you to make some hard decisions.
So that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.